Of course, as I start streaming, my neighbors start yelling. Okay. Happy September 1st, 2017, an adventurous stream where we play Kingdom of Loathing, a dirty joke and stickman-based game. I'm your host, a host of horrible horrors, known as Mcnally86. I apologize for not streaming last week, even though I wrote in my comment that I would not apologize. I do apologize. Kind of stinks over the last week I haven't been streaming. But I am back to do the double-length Sunday stream. So, at the bare minimum, I'll do that. And hey! We got Fred already! I didn't expect you. I guess you are awake, aren't you? I didn't think you'd be awake. Even though I talked to you already today. You should be out catching those lightning dogs. Is today the last day for that? I should have been out catching those lightning dogs. Right, anyway, let's start this episode with the traditional visit to the graffiti wall to see the collected ignorance of my fellow players. Alright, let's see what messages they wrote for us today. Well, wrote for everyone. Go to heck, you heckin' piece of heck! I want a raspberry. I want to be alive. This is green text. I can see my house from here. Penurple. Holy heck, I'm red. Thank you for your... Oh! Alright, have fun at Capitol Mall. I actually thought about going there the other day. In case you're wondering about Capitol Mall... and you're not in the know, Capitol Mall is the mall in the Capitol. Mall overlooking the Capitol? The capital of malls? Right. It's, yeah. I was thinking of doing Batfellow today, but I'm not sure I want to do a double-length Batfellow episode. I might just finish off the Mysterious Island of Mystery. You know, I had all week. I probably should have figured out what I wanted to do before this episode started, but it's too late. I think I'm probably just gonna finish this battle. Alright, so as a quick recap, I've been trying to defeat the filthy hippies for the Frat Orc army. So far I've completed quests at the arena, the junkyard, the lighthouse, and the organic orchard. They all give us, they give me a multiplier to the orc side if I complete them as an orc. They give a damage multiplier, so... They're putting me in the hurricane-proof that to go. Wait. Are you leaving for hurricane relief? I was being like silly and doing a silly episode, but now I'm wondering if my friend's gonna do hurricane relief. I actually would like to know about that. I mean, I got some time out of my schedule. I substitute teach, so like if he's leaving, I could take time to go with him. Of course, then I really wouldn't be streaming because I'd be in a cleaning up garbage and flood damage. I really wish when I was trying to be serious my avatar wasn't smiling, but no, can't really make it frown. Well, I'll have to ask him later. Okay, oh, I also completed the quest for Our Lady of Perpetual Indecision. So I guess the only place left to do quest now would be McMillan farm, and there's too many hippies to get there. You saw in the Junkman. No, he gives me cars. Alright, here's the arena. You roll up to the amphitheater and see that radioactive child's already taken the stage. After listening for a few minutes, you really wish they'd give it back. Their lead singer's voice is pitched somewhere in between a moan, a whine, a hiccup, through a mouthful of marbles. The concert goers seem to be into it, though. They're all busy looking sensitive and disinterested to hide the fact that they want to dance. Start to get bored and look around for something to entertain yourself. So I'm going to pick a fight at the concert. Suddenly it hits you. You're at a concert with a ton of frat boys. Surely there's somebody here who's ready to get into a nice big entertaining brawl. After all, how much can you know about yourself if you've never been in a fight? You shove a big frat boy in front of you and he spins around. Hey! I don't think you've considered how your actions might affect me, he says, tears welling in his eyes. I mean, I'm pretty fragile right now. My girlfriend left me, and my parents don't understand me. You know, just all everything. Well, you sit down with me, and I can have a good talk and a good cry. Oh, I really sold that role. I'm actually crying. Hold on. All right. You walk away disgusted and try again. And then again, with the same result. All these frat boys are too busy being sensitive to start something. Your pent-up rage grows with every weepy pair of eyes above popped collars that you encounter. Ironically, you feel like finding something to break. Apparently, that was only suitable frat boy behavior a couple years ago. So I guess frat boys are sensitive now. I got white boy angst, 20 adventures. Alright, you're so full of anger. You're full of anger. One can only feel when one is perfectly comfortable. Unoppressed member of a class of people who has never been in anything but a position of power. It's quite the bummer, but it does make you eager to beat the stuffing out of anyone who crosses your path. 50% combat initiative. All right. Now we got our band buff for today. Let's head out to the battlefield. I'm fighting Osius Duck. What? This is not a thing that's happened to me and could have happened to me before. I'm apparently fighting a fan ? A figure steps out from behind this morning and says, like your streams on KOL. You get the jump on him. He's struck dumb by Bodius's mesmerizing movement without movement. Well, if this guy watches me, I better pepper spray him. You spray the pepper spray in your opponent's face, dealing 12 damage and producing some serious sinus inflammation. There's plenty left in the can, so you put it away. I win the fight! Oh, wow, that guy was really weak. That poor Saucior. Maybe I'll send him a gift. I acquire time residue? What the heck? This is a little bit of time residue that was recovered during a recent time excursion. I'm going to have to look up that item later, because I have no idea what time residue is. It might have to do with the mystery of how OC Duck managed to attack me. Ois Duck? Ois Duck. Sorry if I tripped over your name. Yeah, I have to find out what time residue is good for later. Monster Manual shows up and says, the future is so bright you gotta wear shades. Wait, actually time residue is usable. I'll just use it right now. Where is that time residue? Okay, I can use it. You're fighting a woolly duck. Okay, this is not what I expected. Why? What were you expecting a prehistoric duck to look like? I mean, why not just a bit of a larger duck covered in hair? Why not tusks? You get the jump on it. Guess I'll punch it. I only deal 3 damage to it. The duck stabs you in the eye with its tusks. You are one of the very few people alive today who can say that. The duck swoops at you and flails at your face with big hairy wings. The duck tusks get in the way of it pecking at you, but it still stabs you with the tusks. So it works out at the same time, or worse. I'll moo at it. And I win the fight. Acquire compounded experience. This is the experience of an ancient adventurer compounded over the centuries since it occurred. Mysteriouser and mysteriouser. Monstrous Manuel tells me, I know that ducks are bullies, so now you know what that song is about. Okay. Well, let's just find out what this really expensive book is used for. You pop the experience in your mouth and feel all that compressed experience permeate your being. Gain a butt ton of muscle-boundness, cheek mysteriousness. I should really look up what books do before eating them. But I don't regret my decisions. I kind of regret my decisions. Weird. Weird. Okay, that's not how I expected today to go. I'm fighting a war hippie green gourmet. This hippie wears the camouflage chef's hat and tie-dyed apron of an elite subunit of the Baker Company, the Green Gourmets. Their mission is to take the art and science of stoner cooking to the next level. Forget brownies and cookies. These guys are kicking it up a nug. Oh, nice. Let's see. Adder. I'm gonna throw a snake at him. You turn the venomous adder loose, and it does what comes naturally, which is to bite your opponent and then sliver off into the undergrowth. Your opponent writhes as he takes 36 damage from the poison, and then he cooks up a Limburger cheese omelet with spinach and special herbs. One whiff makes you vow never to eat again. Oh, that's bad. Speaking of stoner meals, you guys should try the late night munchie meal at Jack in the Box. It's great. Alright, I throw another adder at my opponent, and he just makes another Limburger cheese omelet. Is that all he does? Is stench damage? He makes a plate of herb-infused sushi, then pelts you with several magic rainbow rolls. That's great. I really like this enemy. He whips up some herb truffles instead of the dark truffles, and with white truffle... Okay. He whips up some herb truffles infused with dark chocolate and white truffle oil. He then sets them aside and smacks you with a spatula. Alright, well, I'll just punch him the rest of the way. I acquire a pink clay bead and bulletproof corduroys after winning the fight. Alright, I'm fighting a war hippie rigger. This is one of the hippies of the 1965th Infantry Division, or Jerry Riggers, as they've come to be called. They're renowned for their ability to make a bomb out of pretty much anything, and they find lying around the ground. Alright. Man. I'm having trouble reading today. Well, he's dead. You see a squadron of police cars drive up, and a squad of policemen arrest a funk of hippies who were sitting around inhaling smoke from some sort of glass sculpture. Alright, can it get to the farm yet? There's only a few hippies in the way, but I think I can clear them out. Fairly short order. Alright, I'm fighting war hippie infantrymen. Stop, children! What's that smell? It's a member of the hippies' 12th Infantry Division guy's armpit. Going down. They distinguish themselves from other infantry divisions by cultivating a stench of even more legendary proportions and using that stench in their proud defense of the hippie nation. He advances on you. Of course, you knew that because you smelled him coming from like 100 yards away. Punch him to death. Okay. And I learned from Monster Manual, guys, armpit infantrymen actually do shower with soap. It's just their soap is a homeopathic organic patchouli skunk extract concoction. Hey, skunk extract is like perfect for your skin, man. Alright, well, it looks clear. Let's see if we can get in the farm. Nope, there's still too many hippies. I guess that one guy's sort of in the way. Fighting the king snake. That's not what I expected. I'm fighting a mobile armored sweat lodge. This is a sweat lodge, a crude wooden building filled with hot coals. The hippies sit in whenever they want to sweat out all the toxins and impurities that they're so sure the modern world fills their bodies with, which they're so sure the modern world fills their bodies. This one has wheels on it though, and it's coming right towards you. As scary as the idea of a big box of naked hippies is, the idea of a big mobile box of naked hippies nearly paralyzes you with fear. I do want to say that I live in a state where marijuana is legal, and I do remember a hippie chick freaking out. She's like, don't legalize marijuana, man, cause the corporations will start lacing the commercial marijuana with all kinds of impurities, man. It was funny. I guess you had to see her. Anyway, one of the naked hippies throws a hot coal at you, singeing your kidney. Aww. A blast of hot air emerges from the hole in the front of the sweat lodge and nearly knocks you out, both because it's forceful and full of concentrated stench of several hippies. I take stench damage. The sweat lodge hits a bump in the road. You hear screaming and swearing coming from inside as the hippies are showered with hot coals and embers. A naked hippie emerges from the hatch on top of the sweat lodge and lobs a balloon at you. It pops near your face, and you smell something weird. I'm lightheaded for an adventure. You're feeling lightheaded, headlighted, whatever, man. This is awesome. Mysticality minus 30%, but increased chance of fumbling. That actually should increase mysticality. One of the naked hippies throws a hot coal at my neck, and I take damage. Oh, he's in a hurricane toy. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was confused because... Gotcha. Stop watching my stream while in a hurricane booth. It's not something that seems like it's good for your phone. Monster Manual says, it is rumored that the Sweat Lodge was invented by a particularly sweaty hippie who wanted some plausible deniability. Yeah, I know what the tornado booth is. I know what that is, but the way you said it, it was like, you do stuff phonetically sometimes and it messes up. Well, I assume if you're using the phonetic voice reader, why in a tornado booth? Well, your message is gonna get garbled. I'm fighting a war hippie sky captain. This hippie is an officer of the airborne wing of the hippie army, whose motto is, we're like, so high, man. Since the hippies don't have any airplanes or balloons, and all their zeppelins are made of some kind of lead, the airborne wing consists of sugar-addled ferrets strapped to mini biplanes. It's the kind of idea you can only think up when you've eaten too many herbal brownies. She throws a double handful of ferret bait at you. Dozens of ferrets swoop down from the sky and rip your flesh, just like weasels. You get a tune stuck in your head and it goes, ah, get them off me! Critical hit. I guess I'll punch her. She scratches you with her crusty fingernails. You better hope she's had all her shots. Takes stench damage. You see a keg tank rumble through the battlefield, firing cans of beers out of the top of its turret. It mows down like 30 hippies in a row, then runs out of ammo. They really should have stocked more than one six-pack. Alright. Can I get to the farm now? There are too many hippies. I got a message on Facebook. I'm not reading that right now. This is an old, wizened woman who has spent her entire life bringing herself more and more in tune with Gaia, so she can use the Earth's own power against those who defile it. Using earth, wind, water, fire, and heart, she casts unbelievably potent spells without having to say a word. She's the most powerful shaman, Shay person who ever lived, and she's ready for whatever you got to give her. And she's ready to give you what for? For what? For Gaia! Alright, well, I'll just punch her, I guess. And I win the fight and acquire battlefield carbonated soy milk. Alright. I'm fighting War Hippie Baker again. And I defeated it. And I learned from Monster Manual. Monster Manual tells me Hippie Bakers can make almost anything with that sickly sweet herb that the hippies like. Brownies that taste like that herb, cookies that taste like the herb, shrimp cocktails that you get the idea. You know, I never thought nugs were that sweet. Alright, so I'm now at McKillicuddy's farm. I'm going to complete this quest now. I'm fighting a generic duck. Mcnally's farm has been overrun by a giant flock of ducks. And this is one of them. It wanders towards you, but you get the jump on it. I'm going to punch the duck to death, because why not? And I learned from Monster Manual. Look at all the ducks! All the ducks do not look the same, okay? That's specious. This duck has a name, and its name is Reginald von Quacksmont. That accent's really drifting. You're fighting a generic duck. Bam, 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 bam. And I punch him to death. And I win! Duck actually took a lot of punching. I'm fighting another generic duck. And I will punch it. It rolls some water if it's back, making a puddle in which you slip and fall. Take some damage, but then beat it up. Monster Manual pops up and says the same thing he just said before. Apparently all ducks really do look alike. Maybe I should read the quest before trying to fight the ducks. Farmer McMillicuddy. Ork! I can't. That's not... Och! Me farm! It's overrun! Dukes all over it! Dukes, you reply. What are dukes? Dukes! Dukes, you stupid git! Great flapping beast with webbed feet and bills. Dukes! Alright, gotcha. I'll see what I can do. I'm not good at that accent. Cornered. You find yourself inside McMillicuddy's barn with your back to the wall and a horde of ducks advancing on you. Well, not so much advancing as milling around aimlessly, but getting closer to you nonetheless. You'll look around to see if there's anything nearby which might be of use within your reach, and you can see a pitchfork, a cowbell, and a coil of barbed wire. Grab the pitchfork, whale it round, bang on the cowbell, or make a fence of the barbed wire. Well, seeing how I'm a cowpuncher, I should probably make that barbed wire, because that's the only way to stop a cow. You wrap yourself in a barbed wire cocoon and sit in the corner, rocking back and forth and muttering to yourself until the ducks get bored, decide to head off into the pond for a swim. I'm fighting another generic duck. I'll moo at it to kill it faster. And I did. Another generic duck, and I'll just keep mooing at it. And that works. I'm fighting another generic duck. And that works. Alright, and my pet dog's here. I'm just going to pat him. And he's going to head off again. Once again, you find yourself back in the corner of McMillicuddy's farm, surrounded by a bunch of ducks. This corner is a little more interesting, though. There's a lit lantern next to a pile of hay and a huge rusty bear trap that's hanging on the wall. Got any ideas? Well, I'm going to use the bear trap because cowpuncher. You spring into action, grab the bear trap off the wall, and spend about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get it set up. The ducks get bored and wander off towards the McMillicuddy family plot in hopes that the people buried there are more interesting than you are. I'm fighting another generic duck. So the thing about these ducks is I'm chasing them off into other parts of the farm where they'll mutate. I don't know why the ducks mutate. I don't know what it's a reference to. How many corners does this stupid barn have? Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Here you are again in your own corner, in a corner of the stupid barn, with another bunch of stupid ducks blocking your stupid progress. You quickly look around you and reveals your quick look around you reveals a giant metal drum labeled "Whackin' Grease," on whose origins and purposes you don't want to speculate. Hanging on a wall behind the barrel is a double-barreled shotgun. Hanging behind the shotgun is a joke involving 3 barrels. Actually, not really. There's nothing hanging behind the shotgun. Anyway, what do you want to do? Well, I can't really use a shotgun because I'm a cowpuncher, so I'm just going to dump the drum. You unscrew the lid of whacking grease and tip it over. A horde of ducks is swept into the other back 40 in a deluge of medicinal-smelling goo. Alright, so all the ducks are gone, but they're now in the other back 40, the family plot, and the pond. So, let's check out, see how these ducks mutated. I'm going to go to the family plot first, because they're sure to be ghoul ducks. You're fighting a vampire duck. This is a duck that, after being driven into the Mcnally family plot, got bitten by a vampire, or a different vampire duck. That part is uncertain. What is certain that it got a taste for human blood, and it's figured out that you've got a whole big mess of it in your veins right now. It transforms into a cloud of mist, and then you get run over by a bunch of gorillas. I'm going to punch the vampire duck, and it does the same attack, which is boring. I've killed the vampire duck. I'm fighting a king snake. I'm fighting another vampire duck. This is a duck after being driven into the Mcnally farm pot, and I just already read that. So I'm going to just punch this one to death. He transforms into some old guy in a tuxedo who stares deep into your eyes, mesmerizing you while he comes even closer. A muffled quack as he sinks his fangs into your neck breaks the reverie. But too late. Critical hit. I take 30 spooky damage. Alright. Alright, another vampire duck. I'm fighting a zombie duck. This is a duck which formerly craved only grains, has now developed a craving for brains. And at this particular moment, the brains it seems to crave the most are the ones inside your skull. It cracks open your brain pan and gnaws on your brains. You forget what pie smells like. And says something that sounds like rast and bites you in the arse. It shouts towards you. Oh, sorry. It shuttles towards you, quacking in an unsettling and spooky way. I take spooky damage. Alright. It says rast and then bites you right in the groin. It shuffles towards you, quacking in a spooky way again. It lurches towards you, then gets distracted by someone sitting in a nearby tool shed playing video games. It waddles off to join in. That's a good movie. And I beat the zombie duck. I'm fighting another zombie duck. I'm just going to give him the 1-2 punch, and he is dead. My ghost dog is here. I'm going to pet him some more. I'm fighting another zombie duck. Alright, well, it's... Oh, of course, Moo doesn't work on him. 1-2 punch, and he's not dead. Wow, he shrugged off that blow. It starts to eat your eyes. Man, now that's unreasonable. He bites me in the ankle. And then I defeat him with punching. Fighting another vampire duck. Well, give him the 1-2 punch. And I win! Alright, and Monster Manual tells me about these ducks. Vampire ducks don't cast a reflection on the still ponds they swim in, which makes them really bad models for art students. I guess that would make them bad models. Why are these ducks suddenly so much stronger? Oh, because I leveled up, so they did too. Maybe? I don't know. Alright, well, I win the fight again against the vampire duck. Alright, now that I've killed all those ducks, let's take a moment from killing ducks, and let's send a message to our friend Oyster Duck, who, I guess predicted I'd be fighting ducks today. And I can say thanks for the time shenanigans. And let's send... I guess I should also write, I'm sorry I ate your book. Alright, there we go. So let's give him a snow globe. Not snowboarder pants. Is it glass snow globe? What is this snow globe called? I like giving people snow globes, okay? Snow... Deep machine tunnel snow globe. That's why. So deep machine tunnel snow globe, and we'll send him to... Or her. Could be her. Alright, send the message. That player cannot receive meats or items right now. If you want to send them something later, try the gift shop in the border town. Oh. Okay. Well, that's convenient. So let's change this to the inside note. And send it in a... Ooh, miniature coffin. That's new. Isn't the miniature cough that carries you off? Oh, it isn't the miniature cough that carries you off. This is a box that's made to look like a tiny casket. Assuming there isn't a difference between a coffin and a casket. I really ought to do more research. Anyway, it's a good gift to get someone with gothic tendencies. Not as good as a swift kick in the ass, but this is good. Alright, well, I guess I'll send them a miniature coffin and a snow globe. It's a deep machine tunnel snow globe. I'll send them a couple. Also, why not a tiny barrel? Tiny barrels are really good gifts. Alright, send the package. And... leg spike! This is really fun. I'm having a fun time with how slow that was. Alright, well, that's enough talking to ducks. Let's go kill some ducks. I guess we'll go to the pond, because that makes sense for ducks, right? I'm fighting a frozen duck. This is a duck that's gotten driven into the frigid waters of Mcnally's pond. It's big, it's cold, and it's angry at the adventurer that's responsible. And in case you don't remember, that adventurer is you. It flies up in the air, circles behind you, and pushes you straight into the frigid pond. It's the worst ducking you've ever received. So I'm going to punch it. And slow down. Slow down. Alright, splashes some water from the icy pond on you. Brr. Well, give it the 1-2 punch. And that didn't work. It snaps at you with its frigid bill. It has no teeth. That it has no teeth is cold comfort indeed. I'm going to moo at it till it's dead. And it's dead. Fighting another frozen duck. I'll just moo at it. I'm fighting a figure skating duck. This is one of the ducks that got driven from the barn into the frigid waters of Mcnally's farm. It decided to make the best of the situation, though. Just like Mom always said, when life gives you ice, make ice water. And it has somehow fashioned a pair of ice skates. It snaps you with its icy bill. That said, the bill contains no teeth is cold comfort indeed. Well, let's kill it. And I learned from Monster Manual, no matter how mighty they may seem, ducks are terrible hockey players because they can't really hold the sticks properly in their wings. Okay. Fight another figure skating duck. And another frozen duck. And another figure skating duck. And my ghost dog is back. Let's get some ghost dog food from him. I'm fighting grizzled rodeo clown. Acquire rodeo whiskey. And I learned from Monster Manual, rodeo clowning can't be learned at any fancy clown colleges back east. Okay. I'm fighting a figure skating duck again. And frozen duck. How many ducks are there? There seem to be a lot of ducks on this duck pond. There are no more ducks. Never mind. Alright, let's go to the other back 40. You're fighting a greasy duck. This duck is covered from head to toe. Ducks have toes in thick grease. It's none too happy about the situation. It has a pretty good idea who to blame it on. I'm going to punch the duck. You punch the duck for very little damage with your powerful western fist. I'm going to keep punching the duck. It styles your hair into a duck's ass pompadour with its grease. You feel ridiculous. It waddles past you. You slip in its grease trail and land in a puddle of ick. It puts its head under its wing, which is actually kind of cute, and then puts your head under its wing, which definitely isn't. Sleaze damage. The word you heard is grease. Unfortunately, it's also the puddle that you just stepped on, in which you just stepped. I defeat it and acquire duct tape and a flirtatious feather. So flirtatious feather is a feather plucked from the kind of duck who doesn't wear pants and doesn't care who knows it. The feather curls flirtatiously, waves saucily in the breeze, and it practically drips with an incessant coquettishness. Alright, and duct tape. This is a length of duct tape. It's got a light side and a dark side, and it holds all the geek jokes together. Alright, well, I'll come back here. I'm fighting another greasy duck, so I'll just moo at it till it's dead. Greasy duck. Greasy duck. There are a lot of greasy ducks here. I bet there's another kind of duck, though. We'll see. Greasy duck. Greasy duck. Greasy duck. More greasy ducks. There are a lot of greasy ducks. But there are no more, apparently. Alright, let's go collect our reward. Oh, I forgot. I gotta try to do Scottish. Och, the dukes are gone! Thank ye! How can I ever repay ye? Can't Scottish. I can't Scottish, sorry. Well, how about dedicating a portion of your farm to growing hops to make better beer for the frat army? Ah, well, I can do that for ye. I can do that for you. That works a little bit better. I'm fighting a war hippie gourmet, and I just killed her. Another war hippie wind talker. A war hippie airborne commander. A grizzled rodeo clown. A green ops shoulder. Okay. A green ops soldier. Boy, my reading skills are bad today. You see one of the Fortune 500 hang up his paddle phone, looking smug. Several SWAT vans of police in full riot gear pull up, and one of them informs the hippies through a megaphone that this is not a designated free speech zone. The hippies throw rocks and bottles at the police, but most of them end up shoved into paddy wagons and chains. The hippies are the ones in the chains, not the wagons. I got a green clay bead. Actually feel that's pretty accurate for what's happening right now. I'm fighting an elite or hippie elite rigger. He's more elite than the other ones, but he still died like the rest. I'm fighting a war hippie homeopath. This is a hippie that knows all ailments, including injuries, are caused not by microorganisms or physical trauma, but by disturbances to the vital life energy that keeps us whole and in tune with Gaia. You see a couple of frat boys stick a fuse into a huge wooden barrel, light the fuse, and roll it down the hill to where the hippie forces are fighting. Judging by the big bada boom that follows, the barrel is either full of scotch or gunpowder, and probably both. I'm fighting another war hippie elder shaman, and got more carbonated soy milk. I'm fighting another mobile sweat lodge. And there are no war hippie soldiers left. I've defeated them all. The way to the camp is clear. So let's go to the war hippie camp. You walk through the carnage of the battlefield, feeling your anger and your gorge rising with every casualty you see. True, most of them are casualties that you created, but it still makes you mad to see life wasted like that. I mean, you're supposed to be beating up hippies and frat boys to steal their loot and pass the time, not because there's some goddamn war going on. Senseless violence isn't much fun if there's purpose behind it. You glance through the mist obscuring the battlefield. There always seems to be mist on the battlefield. Some say it's to obscure the parts that haven't finished loading yet, but you don't know what that means. And see a chubby, unkempt figure dressed in a bathrobe, pajama pants, and improbable sandals. It must be. It is the great Wyzinski, The hippie who has the respect and awe of all the hippies in the hippie camp. Surely together you can find a way to end this war. You casually approach, making sure not to spill his beverage. Alright. Mr. Wyszynski, you say. Hey, man, I'm not Mr. Wyszynski, man, he says. Just call me the guy. That's me. Okay, look. This guy. The stupid war has got to stop. It's got to end here. He stares at you blankly. So you try to speak his language. The end, this is the end? Beautiful friend, you say? Can you picture what will be so limitless and free? He spins around angrily. No way, man. Those rotten frat boys killed a pet ferret. They entered a whole world of pain. That they did not, when they did that. A world of pain. The ferret committed suicide, you say. The guy's eyes go wide. Or, sorry, this guy's eyes go wide. That's what the man wants you to think, man, he shouts. It was a huge conspiracy, man. No way that ferret acted alone. I mean, if you look at the angle at which the ferret struck the pavement, man, you'll see, well, there's some information that's been brought to light. I mean, do you really think that you should be talking to me in a way when I have this information? I mean, he killed a ferret, man. That ferret really tied this camp together. Well, you say, since we can't talk some sense into you, maybe I can beat some sense into you? Bring it on. Oh, it's already been broken. You're fighting the big Wyszynski. This guy, known mostly by his nickname, this guy, is the embodiment of hippie slackerism, or maybe slippy hactorism. Anyway, he doesn't have a job, never showers, wears a bathrobe and pajama pants most of the time, and generally spends his days in a confused fog brought on by herbal smoke and white Canadians, his beverage of choice. I do like me a white Canadian. I'm kidding. I don't like white Canadians. That's what my mother drank, so yeah. I mostly go with shipwrecks. Anyway, let's punch him. He's got a lot of health. You punch him for 468 damage, plus 30 sleaze damage, with your powerful western fist, by which I mean the left fist. That's the western one. He produces a marmot from inside his bathrobe. Before you can say, nice marmot, he throws at you. It rips at your flesh and smells terrible to boot. I lose 18 hit points of stench damage. He squints at you for a long time, rambling diatribe about how certain new information and things coming to light. You doze off for a bit and then hit your head on a rock. Yeah, that's right. You accidentally bump his arm, spilling his white Canadian, and shouts, "Hey, be careful, man, there's a beverage here," and smacks you. It's like he's a YouTuber, but this was probably designed before then, so that's great. Anyway, the guy slumps over defeated, then sits down in the lotus position. He's hurt pretty badly, but he manages to slow his breathing and begins chanting, looking pretty serene for somebody whose insides are mostly on the outside. Shouldn't you go to a doctor or something, you ask? He looks up at you and smiles beatifically. Well, man, you can see, for hippies, death isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of the journey. We do not mourn our passing, because we know we'll continue our karmic quest for enlightenment. Death's just but a doorway, man. I knew I might die out here, so I spent all morning setting my affairs in order. I'm at peace and prepared to move on, man. He resumes his chanting, then stops and looks troubled. But wait, man, did I leave the gas on? Boom! The entire hippie camp makes a sudden magical conversion into a giant ball of blue and orange fire. The resulting shockwave knocks you onto your back, which is good because the explosion is followed by a wave of shrapnel from the broken clay beads, splintered incense sticks, and shattered sculptures. After a few aftershocks, all is silent except for some crackling of flame and the moans of the wounded. A flaming wheel from one of the hippies' looms comes rolling out of the wreckage, obligatorily, and settles at your feet. You stare open-mouthed at the carnage that used to be the hippie camp. Then you remember you're obligated to make a witty remark. Thanks, guys, you say, as you strut off the battlefield. It's been a gas. Doesn't feel appropriate, but I got a solid gold bowling ball. This solid gold bowling ball was the prized possession of Jeff "This Guy" Wazinski, who was apparently quite an avid bowler, even though no one actually saw him bowl. It's no wonder either. Ever tried to lift a solid gold bowling ball? You'd be totally out of your element. Looks like it'd be worth a pretty penny, though. I could sell it. I could. Or I could put it in my display case as a trophy. And Monster Manuel tells me, disregarding the hat thing, it's still not really accurate to call him the Big Wazinski, as that label X refers to someone else. But, you know, whatever. Let's just go bowling. Alright, let's go back to the island. And the hippie camp has been bombed back to the Stone Age. And now there's a peaceful meadow where the thing was. Well, let's go check on the frat house first, and then I'll go back to the thing. Bench warmer. In the front yard of the frat house, you encounter a frat boy working out on a weight bench. Hey, brah, how much can you bench? He asks. I don't know, let me see. You grab the barbell and beat him to a pulp with it. About 300, I guess. I gained some muscleness. Frat gang warfare. As you approach the orcish frat house, you notice all the frat boys all gathered in the front yard. You ask them what's going on. He tells you that they're about to go rumble with the members of the neighboring frat. You wait and join in the fracas with the frat fracas, the fratkiss. You suddenly you sustain a few minor cuts and bruises, but it's a pretty good workout. I just want to fly. Alright. As you wander through the frat house, you see yet another creepy frat boy walking towards you. You ready yourself for combat, but he doesn't seem to want to fight. Hey, brah, he says. I need some help. I heard that there's this awesome way to get chicks, so, like, do whatever you want, dude. You take these bugs. They're called, like, Spanish flies, I think. You take them and put them in a blender, and you drink the juice. Then you're totally irresistible to women. Drinking bugs makes women like you? Dude, you never hung out with sorority orcs, have you, brah? Anyway, you can just find me over some Spanish flies. I'll totally give you some high-quality booze. Those weird dudes over the big ship over there said they could help me, but I'm busy copying this homework, so it's in my handwriting. You start to leave the frat boy as the frat boy calls you back over. Oh, I forgot, brah. I can't make love juice with less than 5 flies. So don't bother coming back unless you got that many. Okay, bruh? Okay. I think I'm done with this weirdness. I'm just going to complete the quest and I think end that episode. And hopefully it's not an entire week before I'm back, but I can't guarantee. So let's check out the... Council of Loathing. There we go. They said, good job, partner. You finally rid the island of those smelly hippies. You probably didn't notice yourself, but those guys really do stink. The tourist trade is going to boom without them hanging around. Now, if there were something we could do about the frat boys... Oh, well, at least they make good margaritas. Here you go. Now that you're a decorated war hero, don't let it go to your head. And yes, it's real. You don't have to bite and make sure. I got a Copper Alpha of Sincerity. This medal was awarded to you by the Council of Loathing for starting and finishing a war between the frat orcs and the hippies. Cool. Alright, well, that's it for my episode today, and my face has stopped animating, and I wonder how long I've had this dumb blank expression. There we go, that's better. I apologize. I was trying to get the episode over before Heartburn did that, but I did not win. I did not beat the clock. So, before more accidents like that happen, I'm going to end the episode. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. It's been a blast! A gas fire blast. Alright, thanks. Bye. Whoop.